What's up, Wrestling News CC family? I hope you're sitting down because what I'm about to break down for you is going to shake your understanding of WWE to its core. WWE has made a bold and shocking move that has left the entire wrestling world stunned. Roman Reigns, the OTC, is back, and this time he returned with R-Truth as his new partner. But here's the kicker, and this is why you need to smash that subscribe button right now, because this story is insane. One of the most iconic, beloved, and consistently entertaining gimmicks in recent WWE history, R-Truth, is officially dead. Hit that notification bell because this transformation is going to change everything we know about sports entertainment. But this isn't a case of quietly fading away or getting repackaged backstage. No. This was public. This was powerful. This was violent in emotion and intent. WWE didn't just retire the character, they let him kill it in front of a live audience as he joined Roman Reigns to stand against John Cena. And from the ashes of that gimmick, a new man has risen, Ron Killings. A man with fire in his heart, rage in his voice, and a clear target, none other than John Cena. Think about this for a moment. R-Truth was comedy gold. He was the guy who made us laugh when wrestling got too serious. He was the innocent, confused, lovable character who could brighten up any segment. But WWE just murdered that character in cold blood, and what emerged is something nobody expected. This isn't just a character change, folks. This is a complete psychological transformation that's going to redefine not just one wrestler's career, but potentially the entire landscape of WWE programming. It all began with a whisper, a murmur among fans who noticed something different when R-Truth returned at Money in the Bank. The man who made his name with outrageous comedy, invisible friends, and hilarious backstage segments came back to thunderous cheers. But the energy around him felt off, as Roman Reigns was now in the picture. It wasn't the kind of return meant just for nostalgia. It was a return fueled by the fans. They chanted his name with passion. They screamed, "Welcome back," like they were begging for something more than just a feel-good moment. And he gave it to them. The moment he walked out, it was clear that R-Truth heard them. He soaked it all in. But deep behind his signature smile, something was brewing. Because behind the jokes and catchphrases, there's always been a man, a fighter, waiting for a reason to step forward. And now, he finally had one. But what fans didn't realize was that Roman Reigns had been watching, evaluating, planning. The original tribal chief saw something in R-Truth that nobody else recognized. He saw the real Ron Killings underneath the comedy character, and he knew that man could be molded into something powerful. On the next episode of Monday Night Raw, everything changed. The man formerly known as R-Truth walked out to the ring. But this time, there was no comedy. No dance break. No jokes. The music may have been familiar, but the man walking down the ramp was not. He looked different. He moved differently. And when he picked up the microphone, the entire WWE universe knew something was coming. He stood in that ring, not as a character, but as a man. He addressed the fans, thanking them for their chants, their energy, their love. He told them he was back because of them. He reminded everyone that fans matter. That their voices were heard. But Roman was at his side, smiling and cheering R-Truth on. And then came the moment that changed everything. R-Truth, no, Ron Killings, looked directly into the camera and said the words that sent shockwaves through the wrestling world, "R-Truth is dead. You're looking at Ron Killings now. And Ron Killings has something to prove." The crowd was stunned into silence. This wasn't the bumbling, lovable character they knew. This was a man transformed, a wrestler reborn with purpose and intensity that nobody had seen from him in years. But here's where it gets really interesting. Roman Reigns didn't just stumble upon Ron Killings by accident. This was calculated. This was strategic. The original tribal chief recognized that Ron Killings had been wasted as comic relief when he could be molded into something much more dangerous. Roman saw the athleticism that R-Truth had always possessed but rarely showcased. He saw the veteran experience, the in-ring intelligence, the ability to connect with crowds that few wrestlers possess. Most importantly, Roman saw a man who had been underestimated for so long that he was hungry to prove himself at the highest level. The partnership makes perfect sense when you really think about it. Roman needs allies he can trust, and Ron Killings needs someone who believes in his potential beyond comedy. Together, they represent something new and unpredictable in WWE's landscape. Roman's influence on Ron's transformation has been evident in every appearance since. The way Ron carries himself, the intensity in his promos, even his in-ring style has evolved. This isn't just a gimmick change, this is comprehensive character development guided by one of WWE's greatest manipulators. But why John Cena? That's the question everyone's asking, and the answer reveals just how deep this transformation goes. Ron Killings didn't randomly choose John Cena as his target. This is personal. This is about respect. This is about years of being overlooked while others received opportunities. In Ron's mind, John Cena represents everything that he was never allowed to be. Cena got to be the face of the company, the main event star, the guy who carried WWE on his shoulders. Meanwhile, Ron Killings was relegated to comedy segments and being the butt of jokes. But here's what makes this feud so compelling: Ron Killings isn't wrong. He's a legitimate athlete, a skilled wrestler, and a performer who could have been so much more if given the chance. Now, with Roman Reigns backing him, he finally has the platform to prove it. The psychological warfare has already begun. Ron has been cutting promos that dissect John Cena's career, pointing out the favoritism, the politics, the way certain wrestlers get opportunities while others are pigeonholed into roles that limit their potential. What makes this transformation so powerful is how completely WWE has committed to killing the R-Truth character. There's no going back. There's no safety net of returning to comedy if this doesn't work. Ron Killings has burned those bridges in the most public way possible. In recent promos, Ron has explicitly rejected his past persona. He's talked about how he allowed himself to be diminished, how he accepted being comedy relief when he should have been demanding main event opportunities. The anger in his voice is real, and it's compelling television. This isn't just character development, it's character assassination of his former self. Ron Killings is methodically destroying every aspect of the R-Truth gimmick, explaining why it held him back, why it was a waste of his talent, and why he'll never go back to being WWE's court jester. The commitment to this transformation is what makes it believable. WWE could have tried to blend the old and new characters, keeping some comedy elements while adding intensity. Instead, they chose the nuclear option: complete destruction and rebirth. Roman Reigns' role in this transformation cannot be overstated. The original tribal chief has become Ron Killings' mentor, guide, and strategic advisor. Roman's experience in reinventing himself from a struggling babyface to the most dominant heel in WWE history makes him the perfect person to guide Ron's evolution. But Roman isn't just helping out of kindness. This partnership serves his strategic interests perfectly. Having Ron Killings as an ally gives Roman someone who's hungry to prove himself, completely loyal, and capable of handling opponents that Roman doesn't want to waste time on personally. The dynamic between them is fascinating to watch. Roman treats Ron with respect and equality, something Ron rarely experienced as R-Truth. In return, Ron has become Roman's most devoted supporter, willing to do whatever it takes to prove that Roman's faith in him wasn't misplaced. Roman's influence is visible in Ron's presentation, his promo style, even his in-ring psychology. Ron is learning from one of the best manipulators in WWE history, and he's applying those lessons to his feud with John Cena. This storyline represents something much bigger than just one wrestler's character change. It's WWE's willingness to take creative risks, to completely reinvent established characters, and to trust their audience to accept dramatic transformations. Think about the wrestlers on the current roster who might be inspired by Ron Killings' transformation. How many other performers are stuck in limiting gimmicks, waiting for the chance to show their true potential? This storyline could open doors for similar reinventions across the roster. It also demonstrates WWE's commitment to long-term storytelling. This isn't a quick fix or a temporary shock value play. This is a fundamental character change that's going to affect storylines for months, possibly years to come. The partnership between Roman Reigns and Ron Killings creates new possibilities for faction warfare, championship pursuits, and cross-brand storytelling that didn't exist before this transformation. Looking ahead, I believe this storyline is going to culminate in one of the most emotionally charged feuds WWE has produced in years. Ron Killings vs. John Cena isn't just about two wrestlers fighting, it's about validation, respect, and proving that talent can overcome politics and favoritism. The match, when it finally happens, is going to be more than just a wrestling contest. It's going to be Ron Killings' chance to prove that he deserved better all along, and John Cena's opportunity to show that his success was earned, not given. Roman Reigns' presence in this feud adds another layer of complexity. Will he remain supportive, or will he eventually use Ron for his own purposes? The potential for betrayal and manipulation creates additional storyline possibilities that could extend this narrative well beyond the initial Cena feud. I also predict that other wrestlers are going to start aligning themselves with either Roman and Ron or with John Cena, creating a larger faction war that could dominate WWE programming for the foreseeable future. The death of R-Truth and the rise of Ron Killings represents everything that makes professional wrestling compelling: character development, emotional investment, surprising transformations, and the promise of incredible matches to come. WWE has taken one of their most beloved comedy characters and completely reinvented him into something serious, intense, and genuinely threatening. The fact that they've done it so convincingly, with Roman Reigns backing and John Cena as the target, makes this one of the most intriguing storylines currently running. What do you think about Ron Killings' transformation? Do you miss R-Truth, or are you excited to see what Ron can accomplish as a serious competitor? How do you see the feud with John Cena playing out? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your predictions and reactions. Don't forget to smash that like button if this breakdown helped you understand the magnitude of this storyline. Subscribe to Wrestling News CC for more exclusive wrestling analysis, and ring that notification bell because this story is just getting started. Until next time, this has been Wrestling News CC, and remember, in the world of professional wrestling, sometimes the most shocking transformations come from the wrestlers you least expect. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. If you thought tonight's story was wild, trust me, what happens next will blow your mind. So don't stop now. Click on the video right here on your screen to continue the chaos, the drama, and the inside scoop only we deliver. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and join the Wrestling News CC family, where the real stories of WWE come to life. See you in the next one.